How are we all doing? I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. Those of you that celebrate, those that don't, I hope you're enjoying the festive period. I hope you're spending time with friends and family, just winding down a little bit, having a little bit of a chill. Christmas night itself, I went for a late walk with Bruno because I hadn't taken him out in the day. And it was just me and him, literally no one else was about. It was beautiful, to be honest. And I had a real, wow, gratitude moment with, life in general. I just felt really abundant. And I always practice gratitude and I'm always aware of that sort of stuff, but I just had this one moment where I was like, wow. And I think it's hard to describe, but if you've ever been in a position before where you've had hard times, you've been in a tough position in life, whatever it might be, coming out the other side of that and seeing what's actually achievable and what's actually doable, it really, really lights a rocket up your ass. And I just had this moment of wow, I'm doing things that I once said I would do. I'm doing things that I once dreamt of doing. An older version of me dreamt of this sort of life. And it's important not to take it for granted, and it's important not to just jump onto the next thing. Look how quick Christmas has gone, the big build up for it, all the planning, all the preparation, my favourite time of year, literally is gone until next year, 364 days away until Christmas again. And while that'll go quick, it's important to remember, just because it'll go quick, there's so much that can happen within a year. And one of the biggest things is it can take a year and you could change your entire life. So don't sleep on this year going into a new year. If you're slumping around, if you can't really be asked for stuff, pick yourself up, get a plan of attack in place. That's what this week will be for me, is more just the final planning for the new year, making sure I'm still in routine. To be honest, I didn't really fall out of routine much apart from this morning. It's the first time in years I didn't wake up till 8 a.m, which is so unlike me. So unlike me. I felt a little bit guilty, but I must have needed it, and at the end of the day there was no rush to get up this morning. So I'm currently on my way to the tip. If you haven't noticed, we've got a lot of junk in here again. If you haven't noticed, obviously with all the boxes behind me, just getting rid of all the boxes from Christmas, all the wrapping and bits and bobs. Got a lot of toys that Mia doesn't play with anymore that I want to give to a toy bank. Got a lot of clothes that don't fit the girls anymore. Obviously they've got a lot of new stuff. You know what it's like if you're a parent, you always want to make space for the new stuff that turns up. It's not going to be as busy or fruitful a week as usual in terms of trading and whatnot, purely because I'm not trading till January. Yeah, as you're watching this, you'll be gearing up for New Year. So let's get ready for the new year. Momentum is here, feeling good. Serious things to achieve this year. Serious things going to happen for a lot of people. Provided you're tapped in, provided you're locked into the zone and you're focused on what you need to do and achieve, I'm telling you, this year could completely transform your life. I know it's going to completely transform mine. I have some incredible visions and goals for this year. I know exactly what I need to do to achieve them, because this year there was things I didn't achieve because I did certain things that led me to not do that. I'll share that in a bit. But look, I'm going to miss my slot because we still have to book times for the dump. I don't know if you lot do that or not, where you are. But yeah, I'll pick it up in a bit. What's happening, everyone? How are we doing? It's Thursday. Waiting for the girls to get ready, then we're heading off out. We were going to go London, but decided against it with the trains being a little bit naff. Didn't fancy driving in, so we're just going to go and get some lunch and bits and bobs fairly local to us, and have a bit of a chilled one. Had to buy a new washing machine yesterday in the end, living the dream, but grateful that I can do it. So that comes tomorrow. So tomorrow will probably be taking down the tree and just finalising last minute cleaning bits for the new year. Your environment's everything, so want to make sure everything is spick and span, looking good, no clutter, no mess. So I'll share a couple of lessons from this year that I've learned that, really going to help me moving forward into the new year. And obviously you may take some value from them, you may not. Obviously some of them may appear obvious, but it's very easy in the moment to not spot them until they're happening or they've happened. One of the biggest ones for me was gamifying prop firms a little bit. Now, it's obviously a common theme and a common trend at the moment, and there are some people that can do it very, very well. But what I realised is me, myself, because I trade personal capital as well, and obviously I've traded prop firms, and I've kind of not had them on a pedestal, but I've treated them as a real account for a long time, and I've always been right, I've got a payout locked in, let's secure it, let's get paid, let's be professional with this, let's not go crazy with it. I kind of fell down this hole of whatever, just go on smoke with them. And what I actually did with that is I actually blew more accounts than I've ever blown. And I actually lost my funding, right? And I think what happened was it built a habit of just, this isn't real, mess about, play a game, have a joke, gamify it, it is what it is. And like I say, some people can gamify very well, and some people have other streams of income that make them 20, 30k a month. So they're not bothered if they're blowing 5, 6k a month on challenges. There's many people that do it very well, or there's many people that have, you know, a shit ton of money in the bank, and for them it's just a bit of fun, right? But at the same time, for someone like myself, I have a family, I have responsibilities. I'm still, you know, building and growing on my own journey, and I realised like going down the gamifying route and almost not caring actually did me a disservice. And it's something that I just want to reiterate. You will see people online that are open about it and say, look, I don't care, I gamify them, I've made 20k and I've invested 2k this month, so who cares? And yeah, the math's math, do you know what I mean? Fair play. But if you're not in a position to do that, or if you're in a different kind of position, this is where it goes back to the images that you're putting into your head. You're allowing people to almost govern you and show you that, you know, this is the way to do it. You know, you can make obscene amounts of money, but you always got to gamble it. And it's almost just like, you know, going down the bookies, you know, same as playing the lottery. You know, you'll see those massive accumulators. Very rarely do they come in. When they do come in, the bookies best believe you know about it. And it's the same with the lottery. You know, you hardly hear of anyone winning. And I think we were playing a game the other day, and it said you've got more chance of getting hit by a meteor than you have winning the lottery in the UK, which is bonkers when you think about that, right? But people still play it every week because they know they'll hear a story of someone, you know, Bob from Devon, he just won 100 million and changed his life. So it keeps people there. And I think it's similar with prop firms. I think some people go, this account's going to be the one, this account's going to be the one, but they're not actually solidifying what the problem is and why they're blowing them. For me, it was just over risking. So to put it into context, I'd buy accounts and I'd probably just full send them 2, 3, 4% and go, right, if it works, cool, I'm passed, happy days. If it doesn't really matter, it is what it is. And the more I went into drawdown, I would just increase that risk, scale up into positions and just be stupid, right? And it was obviously from a point where I kind of thought, challenges are boring, they're long, there's no kind of longevity to them. But I had live accounts, I had 600k in accounts that made me more than enough. Funny, when I do my golden number exercise, which again, if you've not done it, it's a new year, I urge all of you to do your golden number. Just work out, what do you need a month to live comfortably? Like, not just, you know, take into account tax and everything. What do you need a month to live? And then what size account funding do you need in order to achieve that? And what percentage do you need? So for example, let's say you go, I need 10k a month. Right, well, on 200k account, 10k a month, you would have to make 5%, right? But then you've got the split, you've got tax, so you go, oh, I'll probably need a little bit more. Okay, what if I had 400k in accounts and I made 5%? That's 20k. Okay, take out tax, take out split. Okay, cool, now I'm at my sort of golden number. Okay, so I need to get 400k in funding and I need to make 5% a month. Or you go one more. Well, if I got 600k, then what would I need to make? Do you see what I mean? So work out your golden number. So 600k, I can have my golden number. You know, for me, I need to be earning 20 to 25k a month for me to truly achieve the goals that I've set out this year, and to obviously look at moving us. Now that is a lot higher than some people need, but that is just because I want to, the next house I get, I want to be able to pay off a massive chunk of it. I don't want to have a massive mortgage. And yeah, at the end of the day, you know, everybody's different. But I know I need to be sitting around the 20 to 30k region monthly in order to truly, you know, excel. I can do that with 600k and making between 3 and 5% a month. So when you deep that and when you think about that, you're like, rah, okay, so that's not actually that far away. Right, how do I achieve that? What do I need to do to achieve that? Now, I already had that, but I had this big thing of like, I need to be 7 figures funded, or I need to be making like, you know, I need to have 5 million in funding. And look, having that much in funding is incredible because 1% a month is going to make you silly money, right? But at the same time, going down the pursuit of that and in the way that I did it, it affected me. It had a negative impact on my trading, which then led me to losing all my funding and being like, rah, I'm back here again. What the hell? And it's funny because I'm so much more aware and I'm so much more like emotionally composed, and probably and I would say I've got a lot more like awareness of the market now. I've had a lot more live experience than I had prior. And I still found myself in that situation. And I was like, right, what the hell? And it was because I'd allowed this, challenges, they're kind of like no risk on investment, because it could take me a couple of weeks or a couple of months. But how many of us, because me included, when challenges went no time limit, where we gasped, we were like, oh my God, no time limit. I know I'm profitable. I know I can make money. It just may take me more than a month to pass the challenge or the verification or both or whatever. That's cool. I can wait. And if you go and look back at my old videos, I remember saying, even if it took you 6 months to achieve all that funding, you'd be gassed because then you've got the power and that funding to go and make the money, right? But it's funny how then we forget that we once had a 30-day time limit and we all go, I need to pass straight away, so let's just fucking smash the button. Let's just full margin them. But you have to understand, if you don't have the income to do that, then it gets to a point where it's actually not worth it. And you also have to remember, trading is one of the only businesses that you can start with a couple of grand and see incredible returns very quickly. Most businesses won't see a return in the first year, minimum, maybe 2-3 years. Some people remortgage their house on their business idea. You don't have to do that with trading unless you're going down that route of spending 30, 40k a month on challenges, which personally for me, I can't do and I wouldn't want to be doing. But even a couple of grand a month, right? In your head, you're like, I could use that money for better. I could use that money to work for myself. So should I really be doing that? The answer is no. Realistically, 400k of FTMO, pick a couple of other firms. You could see yourself between $500,000 and 7 figures. And personally, I would say that's enough for everybody to achieve their golden number, provided they can keep it, provided they're able to keep it. Because what you don't want to do is be someone that flukes challenges, flukes a few payouts, but can't have longevity. Because while these prop firms are here, if you run the risk of blowing accounts, getting them back, blowing accounts, getting them back, you're never going to make that steady money. Whereas if you were just making 20, 30k a month consistently for a couple of years, you'd make so much money that if you were wise with it and you invested it and you made it work for you, you wouldn't have to worry about props again. Personal accounts are a big focus. Make sure you've got your own personal money. Investing in other areas, things like Elysium, S&P 500, property, whatever it might be. Like I said before, property doesn't return as much as you would think. You need a lot of properties. But that was a big one for me. I know that kind of tangented into different directions, but at the same time, I really wanted to highlight, like, don't gamify them and don't lose focus on your golden number, your journey, you know, because everybody nowadays can start on social media and everybody can share money and how much they make. And you might make that might make you think that you need to follow that person and what they do because they're making more money than you. But at the same time, you don't know their backstory. You don't know how much money they have in their bank or what other businesses they have. There's a lot of people on Twitter that have so many other businesses and they make so much more money, and trading might be what they're known for, but it's not actually their main source of income. So if they're pulling 50 G's a month from another business, of course they can drop 5k a month on challenges. It doesn't matter. But if you're working a 9 to 5, or the position I used to be in, you're working a 9 to 5, you've got kids, you've got debt, you're just trying to find a way out, that's probably not the best way for you to go. So again, be cautious of the images that you let in, and understand that prop firms are an incredible way for us to make money, provided you do it correctly. Everybody has their own spin on it. This is just my view, but I made more money and I was better off when I just focused on having the account sizes that I needed to achieve my golden number, and I didn't gamify them and I treated them with a bit more respect. Another one would be losing focus. So a big one for me was I definitely lost focus. So I started the year really locked in. When you look at it on the surface, you have to look at why, and straight away it was me. You know, I lost focus. And a big one for me is don't take networking too literal, where you're almost networking with every single person on the planet, every single person on social media because you feel like it's a benefit. I actually found it a disservice, if I'm being completely honest. Too many cooks spoil the broth, too many opinions, too much information. Keep your circle closed, keep the people around you that have been around you for years, that actually help you, that actually motivate you, that actually build you up. I think it's really important to highlight that, because we're all very guilty sometimes of, like, obviously your environment's everything, right? So if you keep people around you that are shit, that are no good for you, then that's not good either. Like, get rid of those people. But at the same time, if you've got people around you that, you know, check in, support you, align with your goals, align with your vision, they do the things, pew, pew, pew. They do the things that, you know, help you elevate and grow, and you're having the right conversations, then keep those people around you and probably don't let any new people in. That was one thing that, you know, I wasted a lot of energy and time this year letting new people in that didn't actually benefit me. When I look back, obviously in the moment you think, oh wow, yeah, sick. But when you look back, you're like, actually, it didn't do anything for me. It was actually a waste of my time, and time is something we can't get back. It's not infinite. Money is, time isn't. And it's like, when I think about it on the surface, I'm like, you know what? This year, I'm going to be a lot more closed off. I'm not going to be letting more people in. I'm not going to be going and meeting people or doing things with people that don't have my best interests at heart and don't align with me. Because what I did realize, and it still happens, it's been happening for years, is people come into my life when they want something, and once they've got it, they're like, yeah, bye. And I'm like, well, I gave you a lot. And you have to, when I look at people, I talk to Mark about this a lot, and he's like, when people come in, you have to ask why. What's their goal? What's their motive? What's the reasons for them getting involved in the first place? Do they actually want to see you grow? And the reality of it is a lot of people out there don't. The ones that do, they're precious, keep them close, and you know exactly who they are. The ones that don't, just get rid of them. Like, if you wrote down now, before the new year, all the people in your life, ask yourself what they do for you and how they benefit and contribute to getting to where you want to be. How many of them actually do that? Or how many of them are just kind of a fantasy, or they're an old friend, or there's someone that you think's big on social media, so you want to be friends with them and they might help you? What's their agenda? What's their goal? That would be another big one. And I think another one, without to ramble for too long, because I'm conscious of time on this, I think another one is obviously making sure you make more memories. Like, I've gone through the materialistic stuff. I've bought things that I always thought I wanted, and I realized they don't actually give you any happiness. They don't actually give you any true fulfillment. The kind of fulfillment is actually the chase of the thing, and it's the same as holidays, right? I think it's Tim Ferriss who talks about this. Every time they booked a family holiday, they would all be buzzing, right? But then when they got on the holiday, the first thing they would say is, when can we come back? Or I'd love to come back here, even though they got there right then. And me and Steph have done this. We've gone to places and we've gone, oh, I'd love to come back here. And it's like, you're here now. Like, enjoy it now. But what we realised, and what Tim Ferriss realised, was the actual chase and the excitement of building up to the event is the actual rush and the dopamine that you get. So they started booking holidays years in advance. So the dopamine was always there. The kind of chase was there. And it's just something I want to make sure I'm doing, is not so much the chase, but more booking memories, doing things, experiences with the kids, taking them to explore different parts of the world. One big thing I want to do this year is every month I want to go to a new place and just explore different cultures, different places, different environments. It's easily enough to do. And when you think of the money you can spend on different things, catching a train or catching a flight's not actually that expensive. So just make sure you're actually spending time creating memories, and you're taking those memories in, and you're taking photos or you're taking videos, and you're just remembering the things that you've done. Touch your future. It's really important to do. The dog just fell off the sofa.
No,
it's really
not for him. That's me.
You pushed him.
No, I didn't.
I'm joking. It's really important to touch your future. It's really important that you are aware of, actually how easy it can be to achieve that thing. And I think that's the other thing, is just break down your goals. And if you haven't written your goals yet, make sure you do it, and make sure you ask yourself, why is this goal important to me, and what does achieving this goal look like, and then how do I go about achieving that goal? And I think it's important to break down and reverse engineer these things so that you're aware of them, and then you can set about going and doing the tasks to achieving them. What's happening, people? It's Friday. Literally just finished putting all the Christmas decorations away, tidying the rooms, tidying the house. Just literally completely tidied my desk, my shelf, realigned everything, got everything ready for a new year. Obviously, I've got my why written down. That hasn't changed. My definition of success has changed slightly in this year. And then obviously my 10 things to be, 10 things to do, 10 things to have. It's a lot harder than you think once you start doing it. And surprisingly, the 10 things to have was actually the hardest part. But I've broken them all down into different sections. Obviously, different goals have different timelines. Not gone too crazy with goals. Got about 7 or 8 goals this year, but I know what I need to be doing in order to achieve them. Again, I can't stress enough how important a new year is. 1 year could completely change your entire life, provided you actually do the work that's asked of you, you show up, you focus. That is one of the biggest things I can take from last year, is focus. Also, how so much can change. Some of the people that were in my life last year are not in my life this year. A lot of that's due to myself, removing them or pulling back. And it's something I want to say as well. Don't be scared to pull back. Don't be scared to, or be afraid to cut people out of your life if they don't align. But also ensure that you're not just keeping people in your life because you've been friends for a long time and, we have to be mates. Because if they're on a different journey or a different path to you, or they don't agree with what you're doing, or they think what you're doing is a waste of time, that will have a negative impact on you. I'm telling you now, this year is going to be huge. Obviously, it's the year of the dragon, and that is a year where there's meant to be a lot of wealth. I do feel like this year is going to be huge. And it's not just don't just say it. Don't just start January with the conviction and be like, yes, let's get it. And then in February, be like, back to normal, whatever. Continue to do these things daily, be consistent, be disciplined, be focused. And that's why it's important not to put too much of a resistance in between you and doing the thing, whether it's doing 10,000 steps a day, whether it's going to the gym every day or 3 times a week, whether it's eating cleaner, whether it's being happier, whether it's being the best version of yourself, whatever it might be. Just show up and do it. Don't overcomplicate things. Don't focus on the outcome too much. Focus on the actual process. The outcome will come. Money will come. Health, your abs will come. Things will come from you doing the work required, from you doing the things that need to be done to achieve the outcome. Is being process driven and ensuring that, right, I know what I need to do to get the goal. That's the process. The outcome is the goal. But the process is what gets me there. Not just thinking about the outcome. Because if you just sit there and think money, 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 it'll run away from you. You need to think of, what do I need to do to get the money? The money will come. And all you need to do, for me, for example, for that would be for trading. If you want to get funded, or you are funded, you want to make money, the best way to do that is not to focus on how much you need to pass or how much you need to make. It's focus on your edge, focus on executing your plan, and focus on scoring yourself on how well you actually followed the plan, the edge, the parameters you've put in place. That will bring the money. But if you just focus on, this trade's running $3,000, I'm going to make $3,000, you'll do yourself a disservice, because there'll be months, just like in testing, where you'll do 10, 15, 20%. Why not fully capitalize on that? Because you're focused on the process of executing the plan rather than the outcome. And you'll be amazed at what you can do by just focusing on the process. And that goes to everything in life, right? It's like the gym. Go and do one gym session, look in the mirror, have I got abs? No. But if you show up every single day and you eat right with the right nutrition, the outcome will be that you'll have abs. It takes time and it takes you a while. It doesn't matter, because slow growth is better than no growth. And sometimes doing everything super, super fast usually falls just as fast. Make sure you're building things with the right foundations. Honestly, I'm gassed for this year. It's going to be sick. I generally can't explain how gassed I am. It's now just a case of last couple of days, get everything ready, get everything planned. When you're watching this, obviously you've pretty much got one day, or we're in the new year already. If we are, Happy New Year. I'm going to go have some food with the girls. Not a lot happened this week, so if you did get this far, I appreciate you watching as always. Have an incredible new year from my family to yours. Let's smash it. Peace.